Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. We are having a good old time with Kraftgali, another design team project. And in today's video, we are going to talk about those small stamp sets that you get at a wonderful price point and how we could make them fill an A2 size card and just make them wow. So I am pulling out some Catherine Puller Midnight ink here, and I'm going to be doing some alcohol inking, but I'm going to show you a masking technique. I'm sure you guys have all seen masking before, but I'm going to show you what happens when you do it two different ways. So this is where I placed down the first koala, masked, and then went up, and this is where I'm putting down the first koala, masking, and going down, and you're going to see a difference here. Whatever you want to be in the front needs to be stamped first. So on the left-hand side, you can see that the koalas, unless that koala's got a really flat top in the back and almost like a shelf behind his neck, the first one on the left doesn't really make much sense. The one right here that we're going to color in, this makes sense to me because now we have his little butt hanging over the head of the other one. I love those guys. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some coloring. As you'll notice, on the left-hand side, I placed my Spectrum Noir colors on a little strip of white paper. I am taking a page out of the playbook of the one and only Jen Scrapbina Creations. Thank you, Jen, for that. It looks so much cleaner and so much neater. And every time I see Jen do that in her videos, I think, boy, she must have a really clean craft room. Mine's a mess. This is just only clean in the frame. Trust me. So I'm going to go through and just show you how I'm coloring up this one koala. You can see the colors I'm using. I do use a Spectrum Noir color chart because I think that helps me out when I'm coloring, and also I like to scratch off on the side of a scrap paper or a cardstock so I can make sure that they're coming out the color that I want them to. I went with warm grays for these koalas. Koalas are gray, kind of cool grayish, if you will, but I just couldn't get a light cool gray enough of a mix for me to be happy about it, so I went with the warm gray. And my little strip is apparently too small on the left-hand side because I'm running out of space. Okay, so I get them all colored up, and then I'm going to fussy cut them all together. I go right up against the line for my cutting. I don't show you the cutting because that's dreadful, and you don't want to see it. But I do take a Memento black marker and outline the entire image. And when you do that, you want to hold the marker behind, almost behind the image. Image facing up, marker behind, and that's how you want to line it up. Okay, so I'm going to do some very easy light ink blending on this Bristol Smooth cardstock. I'm going to use my makeup brush off to the right hand side and just kind of work that in my little craft mat there just to get the fibers inked up. One of the viewers and subscribers mentioned that in a video, so thank you very much for that. And it just helps build up the color. The very first time you put down the color on your cardstock, it's going to be most likely light if you do that technique, but it's going to build up quickly and very smoothly. So I really like the way that came out. And I just wanted a pop of color on the back. I'm going to cut this down with a rectangle stitch die. You know I love to do that. I don't know what I would do without that size rectangle stitch die. I don't want to imagine a world without it. Here I am going to take the little heart. Now we are using almost all of the stamps in this little set. It's so cute because, back to the point of the title of the video, you have this stamp set. It's a very good price point, a few dollars, and you really want to make it fit on an A2 size card. I have a problem with that. I struggle with that because I usually like to have a focal point, or usually it's something bigger than just this little koala. And so that's the point here, is to say, keep with the lower price points. That's okay. A lot of times I'll buy a really big and extravagant stamp set and I won't use half of the stamps in it. So if there's a cute little set, like Lawn Fawn sells them quite a bit, Pretty Pink Posh, and there's like an image that you really like and you're going to use it, then get it. And then find multiple ways to use it. So we have this little pyramid here of these three little guys, and I think that's fills out the card size pretty nicely. So you can see I went through and I just stamped out a whole bunch of those little hearts using some VersaFine Clair ink, which I love, very solid, and it looks like they're throwing the hearts, and each one of them is kind of holding one of them. Now I'm going to take out the outline of the hearts, and this is a Stampin' Up! Color of ink. It's called Crumb Cake, I believe, and it almost matches perfectly that very warm gray. And then I'm going to go in with the solid heart and just fill that up. Now, it doesn't fit perfectly, but I like the way that looks anyway. I think it just looks, what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't say abstract, but kind of asymmetrical. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Fill in fancy word. And I'm just going to use some of the VersaFine Clair and then also some oxide, which I did the ink blending with, spun sugar. I had a boo-boo, and so I used my sand eraser. You know I have to have fixes for all my boo-boos because I make quite a bit of mistakes. I'm going to use some AdTech tape runner to put this down onto my card panel here. And this is a pigmented ink, so you want to be careful and you want to make sure it's dry. And then these awesome little squares fill up their ears perfectly. So I used some foam tape and then those little squares there to just fill that out. I don't want anything sagging. And then I'm going to try to line up my koalas with the 3 hearts that I put right by their hands. So all 3 of them are holding a heart, and then the hearts are falling as well. So once I get that down, I'm going to do some final touches on this card. This is a black Jelly Roll pen, and I'm just going to put that right into their eyes. It makes their eyes pop. And then I'm going to take my white Uniball Signo pen here, and I'm just going to draw some highlights on that. And I just go through with the hearts as well, so I'm going to draw the highlights on some of the hearts also. Not every single one, but I hit quite a few on there. And I think that that's just a nice final touch for the card, and that will do it. So, get out your little tiny stamp sets and see what you can do with them to make them fill up your A2 size card. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, for crafting with us. I'll list everything we use below. Don't forget to head over to the Kraftgali shop. Always awesome stuff going on, awesome deals, great products. And if you have any questions, list them below in the comment section. Here's a couple videos to hold you over till the next time, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.